My name is Robbie, and I have a wallet chain which makes me better than all of you combined. I took this wallet chain with me when I was doing college tours because I wanted people to notice me. I thought, yeah, these admission counselors are totally going to remember the kid in the back of every tour group with his head buried in a journal like a frickin' ostrich, but dang, that wallet chain though! When I was on one of these college tours, we passed by the library and the tour guide said, "This is the library," because that was the library, and she followed that up by saying, "This is where we'd like to lock the freshmen," like in the basement part of it. I laughed to cover up my fear of being locked in the basement. Later in the tour, we passed by another group that was at that same location, and their tour guide told them the exact same thing. I have a couple of options. My first option, and probably the smartest one, would have been to run over to the other group and yell, "It's true, my brother's been there for months!" and then run away sobbing to reduce the competition to get less people to apply. Second option, I could go to my tour guide and say, "Hey, I think that guy's stealing your hilarious material about like kidnapping and imprisonment." Which I didn't do. I did the third thing, which was do nothing. I assume that all the tour guides have a script they have to stick to or else they'll get locked in the basement with the freshmen. Just a question here, how many people have graduated from college? Just a show of hands, something? You're lying, you're a child, but... Okay, how many people are currently in the process of applying to colleges? Anybody? 2? 3? There's my dudes, alright. The whole college application process, it's been pretty stressful, but I developed a top secret method for coping with the stress. My method is that I bite my fingernails too short and get an infection. My finger turned a shade of green that I can only describe as zombie virus green. And I thought I doomed the entire planet just because I couldn't get the word count down in my personal essay. My dad took me to urgent care. The receptionist, she called me up to answer a bunch of questions. You know, what's your name? Why are you here? Where'd you get that sexy wallet chain? Normal medical questions like that. Now, while I was answering these questions, this big, like, hulk of a man, he went and sat right next to where I was before I got up to answer these questions. Well, I went and I sat next to him, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Why you gotta sit here, man? I'm just wondering, there's lots of other seats." So I have a couple of options. First option is I could go, "Oh shoot, I just realized it's Wednesday, I'm not wearing pink, my bad, dude." Which I didn't go with because he didn't look like a big fan of the 2004 Lindsay Lohan teen comedy Mean Girls, so he wouldn't have gotten the reference. My second option was to just go and sit somewhere else, which I didn't do, because if I turned into a zombie, I wanted him to be the first person I infected. So I did the third thing, which was I did nothing. I sat there and I took his verbal abuse like a wounded glyptodon. And you probably don't know what that is because it's extinct because Jerkface McPersonal Space killed them all. So my parents, they're here tonight. They've been very helpful with the, whole college process, driving me. Yeah, applause, they deserve it. They've been revising my essays, they've been driving me to the hospital, which I didn't know would be a part of it. My parents recently celebrated their 21st wedding anniversary. That's another applause worthy. There you go. Their marriage can now legally drink. That's very nice. But my mom, she helped me revise some questions, but sometimes she would get a little bit too involved. One college asked me, "What does resilience mean to you?" And I said, I think it's about making mistakes and moving on, not letting them get to you. And my mom says, actually, I think it's more about learning from your mistakes. And I said, "Mom, the question isn't what does resilience mean to your mom? That's inappropriate. No college would ever ask me that." But my mom, she went to school, she could relate to my stress because in order to get her PhD, she had to organize this test. She was testing the amount of independence among people who were born with disabilities and then people who got into accidents later in life. She devoted 3 years of research into this, and at the end of these 3 years, she had the opportunity to publish these amazing scientific findings. But she never published them in any journals or anything because she wanted to have a baby. So because I was born, the whole world knows less about the handicapped. So you're welcome for that entire world. My mom, she could have gone down as a legend in science history, and instead, she chose to create an anxious nail-biter who's going down as patient zero in zombie apocalypses. Have I mentioned my wallet chain? Yeah. Thank you very much.